I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job.
We finally received a name of the Hollywood deepfake company that we can confirm Turning Point USA was meeting with following Charlie's tragic passing. We're going to show you what this company is capable of, and I'm going to allow you to draw your own conclusions.
For months, defenders clung to that audio as undeniable proof, Charlie Kirk's own voice appointing Erika as his successor. Then leaked footage dropped and the whole thing shattered. Viewers who once backed the recording are now watching in disbelief as evidence confirms Erika Kirk paid for AI Slop to fake the entire wife appointment video. The moment that clip surfaced, the carefully built narrative around Charlie's final wishes stopped looking like legacy, but like a calculated takeover. And once you see who helped push it, the real question hits harder: how deep does this deception actually go? So on, the leaked footage hit like a quiet detonation. What was sold as Charlie Kirk's final wish, his own voice clearly appointing Erika to lead Turning Point USA, suddenly looked manufactured from the ground up. For months, that audio circulated as unbreakable proof of his intentions. Then the layers peeled back.
I gotta tell you, the more I listen to it, the more AI it sounds to me. Take a listen.
A lot of organizations and groups, as soon as a founder leaves, it just kind of collapses. A lot of my job is not always in the day-to-day details. It's very much vision casting, very much driving success. But we have a great board, and God forbid if something happens, they'll figure it out. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job.
It just doesn't flow.
Leaked details now point to Erika Kirk allegedly paying for AI-generated slop to create the entire wife appointment video. Once you line up the timeline, the pattern stops feeling like a coincidence and starts looking like a deliberate reshaping of Charlie's legacy. It began with the letters. Charlie's own sister, Mary Kirk, stepped forward with explosive claims that Erika had faked his private letters after his death. Those messages were meant to paint a picture of unbroken love and trust. But if his sister is right, they were carefully crafted to generate sympathy and lock in a specific narrative while questions about the marriage quietly multiplied. People started asking what else was being managed behind the scenes. TPUSA released what they called a clear recording from a donor event in Aspen. In it, Charlie supposedly declared that, God forbid anything happened to him, Erika would run the organization. It sounded seamless on the surface. Until donors who were actually in the room started speaking out. They told Candace Owens the event never unfolded that way.
In this investigation, when I went into that room, I believed that, Erika was being a little weird, but I thought that I was going to get straight answers, and then she lied to my face. And from that point on, when I clocked her on those lies, and when the public kept repeatedly clocking her on lies and seeing your reaction to it like it is right now, I grew increasingly suspicious of Erika. I remain suspicious of Erika. I think that is any person who is being honest. Why don't you respond to what I'm actually saying? I am saying that donors are telling us that that was an AI video or an AI audio that you presented of Charlie Kirk. Wouldn't that be a great time to clear that up? If you're going to sit there and you're going to point the finger at Candace Owens, I would have said, and it is egregious that Candace Owens is implying that we would make this up, that Charlie didn't want me to take over. And then you slam dunk, show the video of Charlie Kirk saying in Aspen that he wanted you to be the CEO. I have made a lot of claims about you lying, and I stand by the claims that I have made on this show, okay? I stand by the claims I have made. Like I said, I spoke to multiple donors that were at that event.
Charlie avoided any talk of family succession that day. Erika was in Aspen, but not present for the key remarks. No appointment, nor endorsement. Multiple people close to the event confirmed the same thing. The backdrop did not match. The context was wrong. Yet the audio kept playing across platforms as an undisputed fact. That is when the deepfake angle became impossible to ignore. Investigators and voice analysts noticed the wording and cadence pulled directly from Charlie's final public interview in Salt Lake City just days before his death. Phrases about founders, vision casting, organizations collapsing without strong leadership, those exact rhythms appeared in the succession audio. It was as if someone had harvested his voice from that last recorded appearance and stitched a new message together. The technology trail leads to VFXLA, a Hollywood AI company known for pushing deepfake boundaries. Sources say a team connected to Turning Point reached out shortly after Charlie's passing.
Marcus Wada, alleged former arms dealer, he's already actually incorporating AI voices into their presentations. When they're going out to donors, they're using a voiceover to narrate presentations. Well, today we can confirm to you that for a reason that is not yet known, after Charlie's death, and maybe even before Charlie's death, but definitively after, Marcus was meeting with and communicating with Hollywood AI deep fake companies. Okay, they specialize in creating deep fakes. Now, maybe if this was a conservative company that specialized in making videos, you might go, okay, you know, back when Daily Wire was saying they were going to explode into Hollywood, that might make sense. But why Turning Point USA? I'm going to give you the name of the company. It's VFX LA. Okay, VFX Los Angeles. These guys were brought into Turning Point USA. Like I said, we can confirm they met with Marcus Wada. I can't confirm that they created any content for him. But I would like to show you on their website what they say they specialize in. Let's just click around, right? Here we go. It tells us here they do voice cloning. Yet another example of our AI capabilities is the recreation of a specific voice cloning.
The goal was reportedly to create convincing media that could guide the organization forward. When the Aspen donor story crumbled under scrutiny, the defense shifted. Blake Neff released edited clips, trying to reframe the audio as authentic. Community Notes quickly corrected the record. The footage came from an entirely different event, ActCon 2023, Building the Machine for Victory. No mention of Erika, different room, and context. Yet the push continued. Blake stayed active in comment sections, doubling down even as eyewitnesses pushed back with photos of the actual Aspen backdrops. The desperation in those replies told its own story.
The most important relationship in your life is the one that you have with your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. His passion was my passion, and now his mission is my mission.
I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job. I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job.
I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job.
And the online community have been really loud, as one user puts it. Why would they destroy themselves like this? This video is very poorly made. Another bluntly said, the video is confirmed to be AI. TPUSA should be embarrassed to drop this fake video. They look guilty as hell. Erika's public silence on the mounting contradictions only amplified the unease. Where earlier controversies brought quick responses, this one met quiet. No detailed rebuttal, no original unedited video was released to settle the matter. Instead, the focus turned to maintaining appearances. Clips from her recent women's leadership events showed smaller crowds than the edited angles suggested. Awkward phrasing and moments where the audience seemed coached to cheer louder than the energy warranted. To critics, it looked like someone fighting to hold onto an image that was steadily cracking. The pattern connects backward too. There are also clips showing her scary looks, which critics believe made Charlie scared before he got taken out.
We said our prayer and we asked the Lord to protect us.
To the students,
unable to understand, really.
Okay, well, until you walk a mile in someone else's shoes.
Yes, I'll guard my words.
The I don't know portion of where I sit today was.
and I was standing in the ticket line.
No, of course. But we serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing?
The enemy would love for me to be angry. He would love it.
What, the conspiracy collection? Get it before Christmas. Like,
Rally the troops. Burn the city down. March in the streets.
and of God's merciful love. To stop. I will never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband, well, that was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line, and I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No. We were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person with that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. When you are a woman under authority, you get to see how God uses your life in such a powerful, beautiful way. And if you feel like in college you're in your Esther era, from the standpoint of you feel like you can't say the things you want to say, remember that your degree fades. It's a piece of paper. Your knowledge of everything that you gained is always going to be with you, but your degree fades, but your godliness does not. The opinions of your professors, they won't outlive you. They're going to come and go, but your faithfulness, that will stay with you. If you stand for Christ, do it boldly even when you're alone, and let your conduct preach even when you're silenced, and be found faithful.
We want the best for our country. They don't. This is why Charlie started Turning Point USA in the first place. He didn't trust the radicalized liberal teachers. And this past Saturday, it was a school teacher, of all people, a school teacher, that attempted to change our history for the worst with bullets. And everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me. And I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me?
Earlier DNA rumors and timeline questions around the children had already strained family ties. Charlie's parents reportedly began distancing themselves. Mary Kirk's accusations about the letters added another fracture. Even former insiders like Andrew Colvett drew fresh scrutiny for their roles in pushing certain narratives, including the controversial Superman neck explanation for the bullet wound.
Y'all, whose kids are these? Whose kids are these? Erika Kirk provided this as proof of where she was September 9th.
I've known Erika since they started dating, since Charlie and Erika started dating. I remember the first time I met Erika was actually at Politicon in Los Angeles many years back. And yeah, and I was like, who is this gal? Like, you know, and Charlie was like, oh, she's hanging out with us today, you know. Charlie, you could tell there was something different though, and I logged it. And Erika has always been tremendous, and she never sought the limelight. She was always very happy to sort of be doing her own thing and just be supportive of Charlie. And she's never been anything but just high character, just warm. She was a total asset to Charlie in the sense that, you know, Charlie was so missional. He was so direct. He was so kind of on just, you know, Energizer Bunny, and direct about what he needed to get done. And Erika was this humanizing presence just for the staff, for you know, whether it was donors or politicians or whoever he was meeting with. And she was just so, but content to be in the background and be the mom.
Tell Erika that. Yeah. Erika is very shrewd. She's very smart. There's a great story. I can't really tell you who this was, but it was a very important person. And it happened within hours of the news. And the call goes in, she takes it because it was a very important person. And the question was to her, okay, so just as a starting point, like, what do you know? And she was like, I know everything. And I was like, that's amazing.
That detail, allegedly shaped in coordination with Erika during urgent calls, raised more questions about how information flowed after Charlie's death. One detail changes everything. The donors who attended Aspen were stunned by the released audio. They urged further investigation precisely because they knew Charlie had not said those words. Their accounts line up too cleanly with the technical analysis of the voice harvest. And now the appointment video no longer looks like a heartfelt final instruction. It starts looking like a calculated tool to secure power. The internet, of course, split sharply. Some still defend Erika as a grieving widow simply trying to protect her husband's mission. Others see a larger operation at work. Accusations of narrative control, honeypot suspicions, and legacy hijacking spread rapidly. The smear attempts against voices like Candace Owens, reported bot attacks, and even threats to team members only fueled the sense that something bigger was being protected.
I forgive him. On the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
USA did a massive purge of employees a few days ago, or at the end of, I guess, last week, you could say. What did you hear about that purge?
I heard there were 30 to 40 people purged, that they were looking for the leak. They knew there are leaks out of TPUSA. They are terrified of these leaks because of what TPUSA has been up to. And rather than try to be an honest organization, it's just let's get rid of all the people we think might be disclosing that we're a dishonest organization.
Behavioral cues added to the discomfort, the speed with which certain clips were promoted, the careful editing avoided full context, the way contradictory evidence was met with repetition rather than transparency. In a world where Charlie built Turning Point through relentless authenticity, this chapter feels engineered in the opposite direction. Think about it. If the wife's appointment video was indeed AI Slop funded to manufacture consent for a leadership transition, then every subsequent decision at the organization rests on shaky ground. Charlie's public emphasis on traditional roles and family priorities now clashes with the image of Erika stepping into the CEO spotlight.
I think that we've gone wrong here, that women should prioritize family and children way above career, that they should try to find their husband before they're 25. That they should try to get married way younger. Having children, I believe, is a blessing of the Lord. It's the most amazing thing. You should try to have as many children as you can. Much more important than traveling to Thailand or having a big apartment or a bunch of cats. Having children are a gift from the Lord. Young ladies, they need to be very clear about what they're expecting in a man and date with the intent to marry and not just date to, have a good time.
The big question being asked is, why push so hard to make it seem like his dying wish when the people who were there say otherwise? The deeper this unravels, the clearer the picture becomes. Fake letters shaping private memory, AI reshaping public legacy. A circle of insiders working to maintain control, while family members and longtime supporters quietly step back. It all feels like a coordinated effort to rewrite the final chapter of Charlie Kirk's story on their own terms. One user comments, if it were real, they would have put it out long ago before he was assassinated. Another was blunt. Erika isn't fit to run a lemonade stand. This is clearly AI and ulterior motives. Does TPUSA think we're this stupid? He was in the prime of his life when he was murdered, never appointed anyone. Then this critic goes, funny that they waited until Candace was off the air for 1 week to release it. Yet another said, crazy, they actually put this out as proof. What do you think? If this was truly what Charlie wanted, why does every new piece of evidence require so much manipulation to support it? The truth about what really happened before and after his death keeps surfacing in fragments, and questions nobody inside Charlie Kirk's circle seems willing to answer directly. Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, and stay tapped in with the next jaw dropper loading up now.